I was certain that this book was not going to live up to my expectations, and this is one of those rare instances where I'm just so happy to be wrong. Hey everyone, welcome back to Andrew's Wizardly Reads, and as always guys, I got another book review for you. But before we get to that book review, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help the channel grow. And check the description box down below for information about my Patreon if you want to help support what I do here. And today's book review is going to be Mother of Learning Arc 1 by Nobody 103. I'm going to use the Nobody 103 because I cannot pronounce the author's name. I've tried, I've failed every single time I've attempted it, so I'm just not going to butcher the author's name. But guys, this is one that I absolutely loved. It's got magic school, it's got progression, it's got character growth, it's got found family, and it's got just a great twist to it. And it really caught me off guard because when I started this book, I did not like it. I got about 20% in and I was like, this book is bland, this book is boring, this book is unoriginal, and then it adds in a twist that makes everything fresh, fast-paced, and just so good. So that first chunk is done intentionally to catch you off guard. It lulls you into a false sense of security and then hits you with that 1-2 punch when the time mechanic kicks in. Speaking of which, this book has a time loop mechanic. If you like time travel and things of that nature in your fantasy, look no further than this book because it is 100% used to a master level. I mean, this one is just so good. We essentially follow Zorian. Zorian comes from a merchant family that has a prodigal son that is, in fact, not Zorian. And Zorian holds a little bit of resentment for this because he was kind of the third son. He was the one who was allowed to kind of go off and do what he wanted while, his other brother was the backup son. But then something happens with the backup brother and then Zorian all of a sudden gets all the attention from his family again. Anyway, there's family drama involved. But Zorian is this kind of just third-year mage. He's starting his third year at mage school. And he's a promising student. He's not, overly gifted. He's not super powerful. But, I mean, he's smart. He's bookish. He's kind of reserved. He's not very social. He just kind of wants to go and learn. He's very, very into just learning magic. It's like his thing. And so, he goes away to school. And, he goes about his first, I think, month of school, and then there's this invasion in the city where the school is at. And something happens to him, and he gets killed, only to wake back up right before he went and left for school. And what's funny is the way that he wakes up every time the loop resets is his little sister, Kareen, jumping on his stomach going, "Morning! Morning, brother! Morning!" And, she's just very enthusiastic, and she, does it to get a rise out of him. And it's just fantastic. And what I love about this is because we keep looping the story, each loop is different, and each loop length is different. So if you're expecting to, each loop to be 3 chapters and it loops again, 3 chapters and it loops again, no. It can be a paragraph, it can be a sentence, it can be a page, it can be 3 chapters. It's a varying length, which keeps the time loop fresh and interesting because you never know what's going to happen with this story. And then as the story progresses, we kind of see Zorian make friendships and then kind of learn more about the people that he's in school with because, crowds kind of give him a headache and he doesn't like being social. He knows how to dance because his family required it of him, things of that nature. And Zorian just kind of wants to be left alone. And then because of the nature of this attack, he kind of wants to get involved, and so he starts studying a little bit here and asking questions here. And with each month and loop that passes, he gets a little bit stronger and a little bit stronger and a little bit stronger. We get to meet some very interesting characters in here. Mild spoiler warning, if you are not into spiders, there is a spider race in here, but they're not creepy. They're kind of fun. And I'm not going to say cuddly, but I do like them. This world just has everything. It's got dragons, it's got, sentient spiders, it's got liches, it's got wizards, of course, because it's a mage school. it's got a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of magic to explore and ways to learn that magic. And it's just kind of fascinating to see Zorian constantly experimenting and kind of pushing the boundary of what he can achieve, and the way he's got to go about it, because he's only a third year of middling power at the start of the book, and so he's really got to grind, quite literally, to make himself more powerful, more adaptable, lean into his strengths, figure out these kind of secrets about his past. It's fantastic. You really get to explore the breadth of Zorian as he tries to not only become more powerful, figure out the mystery of what this time loop is, because time travel is supposed to be magically impossible, and yet it is happening. We get to kind of explore the underworld of this city. We get to explore the relationships. I mean, I just love everything about this book. From 20% on, this book was straight fire. I even went so far as to immediately go and late pledge to the Kickstarters for, but not only book 1, but book 2 of the Reveiw Creative editions of this book, because I have to have them physically on my shelf. Now, the way that I consume this is by the audiobook, and I believe this is narrated by Jack Voorhees? Jack or Zach Voorhees? Anyway, the way that I consumed this book was by audio, and the audiobook is a fantastic experience if that is something that you like to engage in with your reading. Jack Vorkos, I think it's Jack Vorkos is the way that that's pronounced, delivers a fantastic performance. It did take me about an hour to get used to his cadence, but after that he became Zorian Kaczynski for me. I just absolutely love this. Let's break down this book. In terms of pacing, the first 20% is a snail's pace, but from then on out, it's 4 out of 5. This book moves. In terms of fun, this book gets a 5 out of 5 for fun for me. I thought this was hysterical and lots of fun, getting to see Zorian kind of go outside of his comfort zone. Inventiveness, probably, we're going to go 4.5 out of 5. I thought that this was incredibly creative, using existing fantasy themes and then doing really interesting stuff with it. In terms of darkness, not a whole lot of darkness. There are some sad moments within the book, but I'm probably going to give this like a 2.5 out of 5. This is more fun than dark. In terms of, let's talk about the magic. The magic is very interesting, and the exploration and the growth of the magic gets a 5 out of 5 for me. Like, I really felt like I was in a magic school with Zorian learning magic. I absolutely loved it. Pacing and structure. I know the structure isn't intentionally supposed to be aggravating in the first 20%. Like, Zorian is a very uninteresting person when we first meet him, and then he grows as a character. So structurally, I think the book gets a 4 out of 5, because it's done with some intention. And yeah, I have to respect what was done, because I was like, this guy is so boring, I'm not going to be able to read a whole book about him. And then it just grabbed me by the scruff and just yanked me along. I absolutely loved it. Characterization, I felt like every character was incredibly well fleshed out. Even if they didn't get a lot of page time, you knew who that character was. So I'm going to give characterization a 5 out of 5. Overall, I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5, just because that first 20% is a little aggravating, but I mean, the rest of that ride was phenomenal. I highly, highly recommend you check this book out. It was such a fun and just exciting read. That's all I've really got here for you guys. Please, please check this one out. I promise, if you like progression fantasy, this is worth your time. And that said, guys, that's all I've really got for you. So until next time, peace out, stay magical, bye. And as always, I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons.